Robert Mariano near Benga baby in the mouth.
Yollanda, Mariano near way.
I like it to be happy.
Dangri gonna no good.
Dangri
gonna no get Mama American and no get American there, but Mama American.
Anyway, guys, I have along with me my first husband, who was brought up along with me at Promised Land, the Holy Land. And so we have several things to discuss in relation to the culture today. So just stay tuned, guys. Yeah, man, thanks guys, and thanks for tuning in as per usual. You know, the show will be very warm today because we have a lot of things to discuss in relation to the Garifuna culture. But before we go into it, guys, Lady Ladd want to say something to you guys, you know. Lady Ladd was my dear grandmother, and we had several discussions about her. And today we'll discuss a bit about her, another thing that is affecting our culture, things that was and is not again, and things that is now, which was not before. So I would like to invite each and every one of you to be a part of the discussion. Feel free to call. You can call on Messenger, you can call on WhatsApp, you can call me on my cell number at 601-8758. Don't be afraid, or you can even send a text on the screen and we'll be able to see it. Yeah, guys. Thanks for listening. As I've mentioned, I want to say thanks very much for Junimar, because today we are not live from Promised Land, the Holy Land. We are here from Junimar's studio. And if you're around, feel free to stop by, guys. So we want to tell Junimar thanks, and Mariano again. Ezra Garcia, good evening. Thanks very much. And we have several people who have tuned in and made comment. Like, for example, we have Naomi Callis, who already made some very nice, friendly, and kind comments. We have Jennifer Miranda, as usual, from New York. Rose Mina. We have several friends and regular listeners who have already started making comments, including Vincent Servio, yes. And he talked about he was very much pleased to see the Marianos together again. And thank you very much, Vincent. Yes, one of the things we want to talk about today, I want to, what's he saying?
Sister Ezra says, hey, cuz, trying to call in, but I'm not getting through. But I'm enjoying the show.
I'm not sure why, but you can try again though, Ezra. And hopefully you'll get through this time, alright? Again, guys, Yollanda is the first Mariano pastor in the family.
Amen.
And she is an inspiration to the family as well. And if you listen to the first song that I play, it was from Leakaya Mariano, our grandmother. And she's the one that looked like our grandmother the most. For those who have known Kaya, I'm sure that you guys will agree with me. So tell me something, Yoli. Before we go into the cultural part, tell us something about your pastoral life. How long are you a pastor?
Well, I've been, I started off as the usher in the church. And from an usher, I got promoted spiritually into being a minister. And from a minister, I am now a pastor. I have my own congregation and ministry in Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And the name of the ministry is More Than Conquerors Global Ministry. It's ministering to people in the Pennsylvania area, trying to put lives together. We do counseling, we feed people, and just trying to do the work of God.
We have a call. Just 1 minute. Let's answer this call. Hello? Hello? Ezra, you hearing us? Hello? Ezra? Yeah, man, go ahead. You need to go closer to the phone, though, because we hear you, but we hear you from far. Cause go ahead.
Yes.
Hello? Hello? Ezra, could you just hang up and call right back? I'll just cut off the Bluetooth, and then we just do it as speakerphone. Alright? Can you just hang up and call right back in 1 minute? Or less?
Yeah, we're gonna go so far.
Hold on, just 1 minute. Let me see if it will work that way. Are you still there, Ezra? Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Okay, I just want to shout out all the way from LA to Dan Greener, man, to the Garcia family, family. Hope everybody okay this sun.
Yes, man. Yes, I.
Enjoy the program, man.
Okay, Ezra, thanks for listening and thanks for enjoying the program with us, man. Big up, Ezra. Okay, fams. Yeah, they hear you. Okay, sis. Yeah, man. Thanks. Big up. Yeah. Okay, fams. Will do. Yeah. Yes, y'all.
Yes.
Okay, so you mentioned about the different things you do in your church.
All right.
Yes. One question. How long have you lived Belize and went to live in the United States? More or less.
The first time I left Belize, I was 5 years old. And I lived in Brooklyn, New York. Then I came back when I was 14. Went to Holy Ghost School, Standard 4, Standard 5, Standard 6. And I started First Farm in Dangriga, Ecumenical. And I went back to New York. So my whole life basically has been in New York. I got married in New York, completed my education in New York, have kids in New York, but I usually come and visit.
All right. Okay. My thing is that I know that you grew up with your grandmother here in Dangriga, or our grandmother, and I'm sure that you will agree with me that how she brought you up in a cultural manner, where you are very much familiar with the culture of the Garifuna people.
Yes, I am.
Okay. Now for all these years, things to come back. You hear the word Garifuna Duo?
Yes.
How do you see Garifuna Duo to the comparison to?
Well, the way I see Garifuna Duo now to the way it was growing up, uwali Garifuna Duo. Nei Garifuna Duo kwele, hama garinago, lo habina ha punta, ani ha wanarago, dele abe hawairu garinago, aya ha sum garinaga ba hachulago. Lagumusho lira, mahi hadi Garifuna Duo. Ladaga, gibeti lo Garifuna Duo, lo ediga, wefedo ha. Hama deme nawaye do tuma nagrit, ane me Garifuna no, wadaga, lida wasari ha. Lida wala miseru, lida widi lemes. Give it to me every lida tuma nugget. That is nahi ni Garifuna do kwele sasi. Ane la wa gebri ha le kwele. Luma me nahi ni ha gebri ha grigia tuma me nugget. Deme gala miseru ba. Aba hayabi bidu he yo. Deme boy he. Deme tore nugget. De hayabi same boy dina ta ha bundili. Aba hayabi sembe na aba wabu wabare aya Hopkins na aya waduhe indura ge yumbiti miru hamuti bolu begebri ha babu ko wele de hayabi biduhe de begebri ha wele fume haldni kagi yabe lu watu higegi egini ane aba haldna ligi ebuga niduhe where whiskey you bring whiskey for steps. Aba gen nonna buni nega long I ni do hello bay buguya be abe egebri numa bona ba wane whiskey ma da bana to ago whiskey you know uwali uwar da buni lia hada idu heyo keme lira dalige keme wo na mudu deme wagri hono hama wadu heyo ani hame uwar da guni deme tagri wareder to ma lady la to wagut abi da time no law ni do heba. Everybody is brother and sister. We were all in one. You know, they were way to go. That's when we know that we wasn't really siblings, that we are cousins. That's a part of the Garifuna Duo that I feel we need to bring back. You know, that bond, that one accord, that unity among family. Family is more than just asking me for what I can do for you. But you can also ask me what you can do for me.
Exactly.
That's family, you know.
Before you go further though, I want to ask you a question because, and I think this question is relevant because, yes, just Friday, your mother was laid to rest. Now we, here in Dangriga, or Belize, okay, in the old time days when we came up, or coming up, we used to have, when we have they have the 9 nights. Right? Today we don't have 9 nights again. Everything you hear now is repass. Right? Is that the word, right? Repass?
Repass.
Yes,
right.
Repass. Now, how do you interpret the word now repass comparison to 9 nights?
Well, niduhe ability no kala repass me. Maga would na me repass to my lady la tonagut. There me bowe aba me hayabi mutlira aba. I guess like me obe bogora beluri.
Exactly.
Aba me ti hayabi grigia. Aba me he muhamutu. Ani ame uraga. Ayame elemus ariseruti. Like me wadu way. Like me lira de aba babu nunwa. Lagi babu nunwa aba hidi mutu muna don lu hachibu ni haho. Lagi bachibu ni buha where they washing their hands. You go home. There was no repast. Then they have the 9 nights. Now 9 nights, growing up in Dangriga, I know we have prayer for 9 nights. And then at the 9th night, then we have the celebration. And then at the celebration, Mama party, uale 9 night gwele. It's a big celebration. Matter of fact, it's not even celebration anymore. It's a competition. Okay, who can have the biggest 9 night? And to me, it even defeats the purpose of a 9 night, because we used to pray for 9 nights before you do that. Now, we're doubling up the prayer. You have 1 prayer, and after that 1 prayer is 9 nights. You have 2 prayer. After the 2 prayer is 9 nights. 3 prayer. That's no longer 9 nights as far as I'm concerned. You know, because we used to pray for the 9 nights. Then at the Lagomosho, the 9 nights. Then they used to have Bimekakule. Then they have Pinole, Pinole. I know a boy fine. To get my wife, no gafe. I may have her fuluaro or last hon or ring. No matter by the gafe. That's what we used to get. That was the 9 night. Now, I don't see no 9 nights.
Okay.
And I don't know what is that.
You mentioned the word punole. And for a lot of young girls, and that would be a strange word. Yeah, because you don't see punole about the place again. We don't see nothing by the name of punole. You know, you remember what was the ingredients of punole?
It's corn. They patch the corn, but was
it made from the scratch by the elders, or do they go through the processing of the corn? They buy it already processed? No,
they process the whole corn for the.
So the elders did all of that during that time. Okay.
They made together. Okay. That was one delicious.
But even the bimekakula is a thing that we don't see again.
No.
We don't see the bimekakula again like those time when, you know, like you mentioned, when there was the 9 night early week.
The last person that stood the road that used to make some good bimekakule was Aunt Martha Nunes. Martha Nunes.
I noticed Rosemena said there. Totally agree with you, Yollanda.
Yes,
thank you very much.
That was what we call 9 nights. So to tell you where repast come from, repast is people that come from America and bring that now to Dangriga.
To Belize,
to Belize in a whole. So now it's no longer 9 nights or Beluria. It's repast.
Now, when it comes to you mentioned earlier about the washing of the hand.
Right.
That is after the burial.
After the burial. When you come from the burial ground, you go to the house. And they have a basin with some grass in there. Or I don't know what grass it is. And they have water. And you wash your hand. And after you wash your hand, everybody go home. Now, instead of us doing that, we have repast now. Everybody come now to eat, to drink. You have DJ now. You have punta. It's a whole different ball game now.
Yeah. And I noticed a lot of people are making comments.
Yes.
But guys, we soon start to discuss your comment as well, you know, in relation to the show. Now, I noticed that the washing of the hand is something that do not occur again like one time. No, my thing is that I don't know how much you look into the word that we use a lot today as diversity. Do you think diversity is one of those things that is affecting the Garifuna culture?
Absolutely. But we can have diversity, and yet we can still do the things that we say Garifuna Duo. Because if we are Garifuna Duo, we are Garinago, we still need to do the things the right way. Because if we're going to train up the younger generation, we need to train them up right. Exactly. You know, if we're going to stay with culture,
and teach them the right thing, like you're right.
You know, we got to do our culture. We got to teach them the right way. We can't pick pieces that we should teach our children, and we should not teach our children. You know, because if I'm going to teach my grandchildren or my great-grandchildren about Garifuna Duo, I want to teach them the right way. Now, if I'm just going to pick bits and pieces, I might as well let them stay American because we're not doing it the right way.
Yeah.
To me, it defeats the whole purpose.
Mm.
But if we're going to stay with the Garifuna Dwell, we need to go back to the roots, to the original form of doing things as Garinabus.
Okay. All right. But how do you think we deal with that if individuals, because I believe that the change and the diversity is affecting us because it starts from home.
Right.
It is said that charity begins from home. And so the parents, just like how our parents and our grandparents taught us, it's the same way we're supposed to pass it down to our children. Right? And now if parents is not passing it down to their children, how do you think else we can try? Or do you still continue to lament on the fact that it go back to the parents?
It goes back to the parents, because if the parents is not doing it right, then the children will not do it right. It also go back to the Bible. The Bible said that you should train up a child the way they should grow. And when they grow, they will not depart from it. Now, if our ancestors trained us that way, we're supposed to, when we grow up, it's supposed to be in us, you know, because I haven't been practicing these things. I haven't been doing these things, but it was put in me from my grandmother. It was put in me from our ancestors. So even though I'm no longer practicing these things, it's still in me.
Okay.
You know.
I'd like us to look at this fact what Herman Pastor mentioned. He said, keep in mind that it is normal for culture to change with time. I don't believe there is any right or wrong way. I don't think if I agree with him, though,
I don't agree with that.
Because then
right.
it has to be a right way, and that is the way how things is to be done. Right?
Right.
You can't say that they can't have a right and a wrong way. You can either be right or wrong, Herman. At least that my take on it.
And
right?
that's also my take. It's either right or wrong.
Yes.
Things change.
But I will agree with him with the other portion that because of the time and so on, things change and things will change. I agree with that. But do we as a people sit back and allow our culture to die away without doing anything?
That's it. Because if we're just going to say, well, it changes, then we no longer have culture. Because everything will just change. That means that is not our culture anymore.
Exactly.
We have now adopted other cultures and we have now dilute our culture. You know, our culture, if we're going to say is our culture, we're going to pass it on to our children and grandchildren the way it was passed on to us.
Yes.
You know?
I noticed Keith Nassar, mentioned, is that culture don't change.
It don't.
And it shouldn't. I agree. But though I expect that as a generation they change, there will be some changes.
Right.
It is not something that we should accept, of course, but we'll be forced as a people to accept it because the younger generation will continue to change in some way.
Right.
But the change or the level of the change that we are seeing, it should be minimal, and the level of the change is too high. Jennifer Miranda mentioned, she said, diversity and culture is two different things. And yes, I will agree with Jennifer that diversity and culture is two different things. But what we were talking about is that diversity contributes to a lot of change in the culture. And that happened because in the old, my point is that in the old time days, in most of our communities, like in Dangriga, it was mostly Garifuna people. Right, mostly,
yes.
And there was Creole people along with us, right? But we, after the amount of years, you start to see Hispanics coming into the country. You see Maya coming into not the country, into our communities, and all different Chinese, Hindus, all different kind of people, and that is what put pressure on a lot of our children. Or that what caused the diversity then when a huge number of people, because when you look at it, if you count the different kind of race of people who are living now in Dangriga, if you add all of them together, it is as much as Garifuna people or maybe more. You understand my point? We are still majority, yes, But if you add all of those together, it will be more. And that is what, to my mind, caused the diversity that caused us to change. Herman, I noticed you made a comment, but it is moving too fast.
Well, my grandparents...
You say, okay, Jennifer is saying correct, Mr. Mark.
They carry all the load, while granddad carried the machete. Should that macho culture be carried down?
Well, the thing is that there was some things that even now that I don't agree with Herman. I don't agree that by right the grandmother or the woman will take the load and then the man walk behind with the machete. I used to see that, and I agree with you in the way back days. And that is a part of the culture that, yes, need to be changed. But then you are, to my mind, looking at the most minute thing. But we are looking at the bigger things in relation to the culture. Nelson Flores, say, Yollanda and Robert, we all have to accept change out when it comes to our culture. He say, we all have to accept change. But when it comes to our culture, it should not change.
Okay, now, when we're talking about changes, okay, there are some changes that, like you said, when your grandmother is walking with the load and your grandfather is walking with the machete, okay? Now, is that a right culture? Now, first of all, what is culture? I think that's what we should say. What is culture? Where do our culture come from? Where does it start, okay? I'm not saying because our grandparents used to do that, okay? That now we're still going to do that. As time go by, with culture, we also have knowledge and we have wisdom, okay? So what is wrong if the husband decide to change the role around, okay? And let me help my wife carry the load, okay? You're not changing no culture. No. If you assist your wife in carrying the load, you're not changing culture, okay? It's just that you're now a little more wiser than your grandfather or a little more considerate as a husband.
Exactly.
All right? But when I'm talking about cultures, there are things that we should not change in culture. Like the other day I was watching people dancing.
1 minute. And yes, guys, don't be afraid to send those likes, those thumbs up, guys. Don't be afraid. We need to know you are there. Send them up, guys. Don't be afraid. Send them like crazy. I'm sure you're enjoying the show, and let us feel like you're part of the show and enjoying the show.
And as somebody says that it's up to the older heads to pass the culture to our younger children. And that's what we're saying. Now, if the older ones are changing the culture when we're teaching it to our children, it's going to mess up the whole culture. I was just going to say, I remember when one hour ago, okay, for Christmas or diarrhea or whatever, they'll have been on the 1 hour ago. The 1 hour ago dancers was so neat, you know, their pants, their shirt, their ribbon, everything. And I noticed the other day when I was watching this, they have their mousseline now, it tied on their shoulder like a big shawl. That was not how Garifuna people used to die, you know, when they were going to dance Chankuno. It was neatly wrapped around and tied around. Yes. So when I was watching this, I'm like, wait a minute, is this a new style of wrapping our mousseline for the Chankuno?
Sure.
You know? And now, a lot of people start doing it. Okay? Not because one person do it, that is right. You know, that is right. But where are the leaders now to tell that one person, this is not how 1 hour dancers dress. This is not how you tie your muswe as a 1 hour dancer.
Yeah, but my thing to you, Yoli, would be, who would you refer to as the leaders? What that you talk about? Where are you talking about?
That's what I'm saying. Now, I feel that every elderly person in the home is an elder.
Good.
Okay,
good.
You're a mother.
I asked that
you're
question
a
because I thought you
grandfather.
were referring to the leader of the 1 hour.
No, the elder in your home.
Good, and
because
that
you
would
as
have been my
parent,
point. Yes.
you should be the one to train your children. You as the grandparent should be the one to train your. Everyone should take account for their own household, and if we all do that, okay, things is going to work out. But we have a tendency of seeing what's going on in your house and don't see what's going on in my house.
Yep.
Then it becomes a problem.
Yep.
But if you're correcting your house, I'm correcting my house, this one is correcting their house, then our culture will continue and it will continue the right way. That's how I feel.
All right.
Mic drop.
All right. We had a few comments.
Okay.
I noticed there was some comment. There was a comment made by Risha Juni Reese. Why it went too fast, so I wasn't able to write it. Delis Flores mentioned she's watching. Thank you very much, Delis. Then there was a comment also made by Vince Servio again in relation to. I think it was a back and forth between himself and Herman Pastor.
Okay.
But be that as it may.
Okay, this one says, say it, y'all. That is the most complaint I heard out there about Wanaragua. Yeah, the way they tie their music, they shafi hand then, you know? Shafi hand. I've been at Wanaragua. Last time, so I was the John Len Nubushi Wanaragua, and they had Max Garcia. Okay? I said about Bassan still go the right way. Maybe not about the Wanaragua. Okay? Now, just the way they tie their head tie, you don't know what's that no more. Okay? So where are those that will correct them and say this is not how you're going to do it?
Yeah, but like you rightly mentioned, it starts from home. Their
from
parents and their grandparents supposed to tell them.
Thank you.
You know? So, guys, there are some comments that you are making, but sometimes the comments fly too fast. So if we don't answer or make a comment in relation to your comment, feel free to send it again, all right? Hi, guys, just tune on. Very interested, love. Okay, thanks. No. When it comes to... Put it on silent. Yeah, when it comes to... we mentioned about the Wanaragua, but one of the things we have not discussed or mentioned about as yet is the way how the youngsters are being brought up today in our homes.
Yes.
Because when we were children, most of the elders will agree with me that we had us to go back sun.
Yes.
We had us to go back water. We had us to go back firewood.
Yes.
Right? Good. Okay, somebody made a comment before I go further. Okay, say, remember in a Garifuna nation, Belize, Honduras, Guatemala, etc., they all dress different for Wanaragua, which is right.
That is true, but when you see the way that the people in Honduras dress, they don't dress in a tunic and a pants.
Exactly.
They dress in a dress. But when you see their dress, the way they dress, they haven't changed the style of their dress. Their dress is still the same. They still have their ribbons and everything. They are still following the original way of how Garino could dress in Honduras. Okay, so them dressing differently, they still sticking to their culture. Okay, they're still doing it right, orderly, and decently, and that's what we need: order and
the way it was passed to them.
Right.
It is only around here we are changing it and putting it in our own way. Say afternoon, bro, because okay, that's Monica. Yes, one of the things as you remember, I mentioned about that we had us to back water, we had us to back sun, we had us to back firewood. But today, children don't know about this kind of life.
Too easy.
Do you think that is what contribute to the different changes in relation to the culture in our different communities?
Well, it has a lot to do with it because now our children is more into technology, all right? And we still need to put in our children that there's not a free meal, all right? We cannot reward our children when they don't deserve to be rewarded, okay? Like in my home, all right? My children still have to take out the garbage. My children have to do their laundry. My children have to clean, they still have to cook, all right? I cannot raise young ladies that wants a good husband and you can't cook. How you want a good husband and you can't cook? A good man wants a good woman that can take care of the home.
Exactly.
So we need to it still go back into the training in the household. Now we have young girls, if you tell them boil an egg, they burn the egg. You tell them make me a cup of tea, they burn the water. We can do that. You know, we got to train up our children. We got to continue that training. Women, in those days, when you got married, and they were getting married young, but they were able to handle themselves as a wife. They were able to handle themselves as a mother. All right? But now, you find, let my son bring me a woman and tell me she can't cook. I'm going to send her back home.
What?
I'm going to send her back home. He's not going to bring a woman home that don't cook. She don't know how to keep a house clean. That's not how I was brought up. When Lady La trained us, we had to come all the way from Promised Land and go to mass. We had to go to church in the morning. Then we have to go back up water, and the water used to be down the street.
Yeah, we have a phone call here. Hello. Yeah, Mark. Hello. Internet kind of slow. The internet here is slow.
Very slow.
Hello. Anyway, Mark, if you're hearing us, the internet here is slow. I'm not at my usual place. I'm in Junimar studio, and it appears that the internet is very slow. So we're having problems to receiving calls.
Okay.
If you want to call, you have to call on my Digicel number, is 601-8758. But the internet calls, it's not working. So just take note.
Like Vincent Servier just said that. Don't forget, we had to go to farm before we go to school. We had to go to farm.
Exactly.
Okay? And then after you come from church, we had to go wash. All right? And there was no washing machine. All right? You had to soak your clothes. And then you have to wash. Like the bachivago, then basule hati. Like the basule, how much batrogo. Like the batrogo, like the bachivago. Like the bagiro. You know all that work we used to do? But look at it now. It benefits us. You know, now when you say you find a woman, I wouldn't say from the 60s or 70s, but when you find a woman, a child that was brought up right in their home, they now are useful, okay? And I guess that was another thing, that divorce rate was not as high as divorce rate is now. Because now, the man go, he see you, you're pretty, you got Coca-Cola shape, you know how to smile, but after that, you can't do nothing.
Hello?
Hello, Mr. Mariano.
Yeah, brother.
Yes, man. Just want you to know, man, I'm enjoying the show, and I'm glad that you're keeping up the culture, man. Because, like you guys are talking about now, I mean, the youngsters these days are different, so we just gotta accept change. But at the same time, we gotta try to keep the culture going, man.
That's right.
So I praise you and whoever is on the show doing it, man. Keep it up.
Thank you very much, Mark. Thanks.
Yep,
Yeah, man.
you know I'm in there somewhere. My son being Garifuna, you know? Yeah. Oh, that's great, man. I just love to see it keep on going.
Okay,
Because,
brother.
You know, back in the days, if it wasn't for you guys and others that are trying to keep it going, you know, and the youngsters are not understanding that, you know, it's best to keep the culture going.
Exactly.
That's right.
Just like the Indians, you know, the Indians here in the United States are almost all gone. The culture is not there anymore.
All right.
It's great what you guys are doing, man. It's just great. I love it, man. Love the music. Always will.
Thank you very much, Mark. Big up, Mark.
Take care, man.
Okay, brother.
Big
Yeah.
up that beautiful lady. Big up that beautiful cousin beside you.
All right, brother. Yeah.
All
Thanks.
right,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Take care.
Okay, you see, people, what I have to say, my cousin, because people now have this thing that time change. The way you raise your children change, okay? Well, I was raised one kind of way, and that's the way I train my children. Now, if they decide to train their children up in a different way, it's up to them. But as long as I'm around, my grandchildren will be raised the way I was raised. And my father used to say, after to me lady lad, moyetin. After to put them a lady lad, more thing. People have a tendency to say that you cannot discipline your children. There's a difference between disciplining your children and abusing your children. You can train up your child and don't abuse your child. People say in America, you cannot beat your children. That's a lie. Okay? You can discipline your children in America. All right? But everybody come with this thing. Oh, you can't. My children will tell you when I get ready. All right.
Exactly.
Then I go to Amo and then boy to mutname lady la talk. I miss a dudut. Then we are na chibago boy with it. All right. You be ask Amo. Oh, mommy. You gonna put colored clothes with white clothes? Not for work. Talk. Mr. Dudut. And I was at the way to not a problem, not a problem. But I know either you will do it the right way, the way I was taught, or it won't work.
Yeah, and it's the same thing in Belize. There's a lot of parents today who are saying that they cannot discipline their children. But even under the criminal code give parents authority to whip their children. But it do not give them authority to abuse their children. You know, and people need to understand these things, you know, and this is what is creating a lot of change. And what is happening now in the community is because we have a full house of indisciplined children.
That's it. When I hear these young men on the street in Dangriga, okay, you can't walk one block without hearing just bad word, you know. You don't hear nobody to say. One time when you used to walk in Dangriga, it's good night, ma'am, good night, sir, good night, you know. Now, F this, B that, N that, plain bad word. Nobody know those kind of words. Nobody know what is good night no more. How you doing, miss? Okay, these are things that we need to bring back into our families.
But do you think that this happened from home, the indiscipline starts from home?
Charity begins at home, but it doesn't end there. So if you're not trained at home, you will not be trained out there. Now what you learn at home is what you're going to take out.
Exactly.
Now if your father is cursing like that at home, that's what you're going to do on the street. Okay? I tell everybody, I didn't know that my father, John Mariano, could curse. Because I didn't hear him curse. Okay? I didn't hear my mother did not curse till a few months ago. You know, she cursed me. But when growing up, I didn't hear my parents cursing. But now, when you see the parents talking to these children, every word is a bad word. So you don't expect anything else from the children. That's what they grow up hearing.
Exactly. Guys, we will take 2 minutes break. We play a song from Lady Lad, and then we go back into the continuity of the discussion. Stay tuned now. Meanwhile, you can call or invite a friend to listen to the show. Please do.
Aduai,
Yeah, guys, we're back. Thank you very much for tuning in. I noticed Gilda Garcia mentioned just now. Hi, guys, I just tuned in. And she mentioned that she's in Boston. I don't know if you know her, but
Yes.
Yollanda Garcia.
And we got Shelly Mariano, Michelle,
Okay.
and that's Ina. That's another Mariana.
Yes.
But my thing now, Yollanda, I don't want focus for a little bit for the next 10 minutes on Lakaya Mariano.
Leocardia. That's my
But
name.
some people call her Kaya.
Kaya.
All kind of
Okay,
We
Leocardia.
like to change name.
Leocardia was a powerful woman because her name tells it all. I don't know if you all know what Leocardia means. When you break it down, Leo, L-E-O, Leo is a lion. And cardia is the heart because she has the heart of a lion. Right? A powerful woman. Now, when it comes to my grandmother Leocardia, we just heard the song. And when you really hear her singing had meaning to it. Okay? Her songs. It's not like the songs now. We hear some Garifuna song, it have no sense. Machugulugu lige a mogudi lige. We say the term hair moha, aba hair moha. But so term ha lady lad, log me tasguru, log me tibagari. And they get term ha lady lad, what the logo take. Okay? But and then me remove term ha, then me gaganita. Midi bote air goa, midi bo agenda goa, aba